So today we're going to have a debate. Well, tomorrow we're going to have a debate. Today we're going to get ready. And our debate is going to be about which part of speech is the best. Which is a ridiculous question, right?
The debate, the parts of speech debate, it's the first time in the year that I really work with students on grammar.
It's going to help us look at what is actually the purpose of each of the parts of speech and how are they different from each other.
I, as a teacher, could stand up in front of a class and go over the definitions of things, but I usually lose everybody. No one is engaged in my explanations of grammar.
Group 1 here is going to argue that adjectives are the best. So you're group 1.
When I do it this way, I set up a debate and students are in teams and I have the different parts of speech represented.
Group 3 is going to argue that it's actually verbs.
And each team has to defend that one of those parts of speech is the best.
Somebody has to give an opening speech.
And I am very open with them from the beginning that this is a ridiculous debate. But the reason we're debating it is in order to make an argument that an adverb is better than a noun. I actually have to understand what an adverb does, and I have to understand what a noun does.
Group 6 is actually going to judge the debate.
When I first started doing the debates, I thought I had to judge them as the teacher, and that's what the students are expecting, that I'm going to judge, but I don't really care who wins. I care about how the students are learning, I care about how they're engaging with the material, and I care about giving individual feedback to my students.
If you're the opening speaker, you're going to come in tomorrow with your speech all ready to go. If you are a question asker, you need to write 6 questions that you're going to ask.
I have fairly large classes. I tend to have classes of 31. I need a lot of roles if everybody's going to be engaged in this debate.
Decide within your team who's going to do which role. Every role has a homework assignment.
So we should find the most engaging adverbs there are.
We have to prepare what questions you might get asked so you know how to respond.
That's for homework.
Make sure any outside resources you bring in need to be cited. You need to make sure you're within your times. You need to turn in the homework assignment. And we're ready. I'm excited. I can't wait. I see some competitors here who don't even want to stop getting ready. You've got big plans. We are going to start pretty quickly. You have a very capable panel of judges who's going to run the show today. Good? Let's start.
Every sentence that you will hear today will have a verb in it. That is because they are without a doubt the most important and therefore best part of speech.
Why are verbs more important than nouns?
It's because they can stand alone by themselves and you can just make complete sentences and they make sense and they get straight to the point.
Adjectives are surely the best. A sentence cleaned of adjectives is bland and flavorless.
During the debate, as well as student is talking, I'm looking at the written work that they turned in to prepare. What I'm looking for is, can I see from the prep that they put some thought into what they were doing ahead of time and how they're understanding the material.
So we just believe that without nouns, the sentences wouldn't really be tied together and there wouldn't be a subject or the sentence.
It's not so important whether their speeches are great. That's not the goal of the activity. It's an activity that's supposed to help their understanding of the content.
But it's not possible to have a complete functioning sentence without the verb. So considering all we stated today, verbs are definitely the best parts of speech, and you should choose us.
Even though it wasn't an interesting topic per se, it was still interesting to see the evidence and information other groups came up with and how they used it to defend themselves and thinking that their parts of speech was the best.
I'm not using these strategies to try to build better debaters. I'm using these strategies to try to build a better English class, and that's always going to come first.
Adverbs can stand alone and single-handedly make a story better as the best part of any writing piece. Thank you, judges.
The closing statement was really good. It was kind of long, but it was pretty good.
Group A was the winner.
Group A?